What's going on, everyone? Are you looking for that next thrill in your PC racing experience? Maybe you got a wheel and it doesn't have a shifter, or maybe you've got like a G27 and that shifter just feels too flimsy and nothing like a real shifter really does. And you want to get a little closer to that feeling, maybe be a little aggressive with it and slam it into gear? Well, tell you what, I got the next PC component you need to check out, and it's the best PC shifter on the market, which is a Thrustmaster TH8RS. And if you want to learn more about it, well, you know what you need to do is stick around. So everyone, I thought I'd show you an actual review of the Thrustmaster TH8RS shifter after I've used it for quite some time, because many people do an unboxing of it, but I think it's time to give a review of what it's like after use for quite some time. Now I'll show you some things that it comes with. The plate that you see right here already comes on it. It's a gated plate to make this a gated shifter, and it works great. It's metal construction, and they do give you an Allen key to use. For these Allen keys right here, you would have to take 4 out. Now the cool thing is that you can rotate this around to get to where you need it to be in the right orientation. Say you want to put the clamp, on one part that maybe sticks out a different way than just forward and back like this. And actually on mine, you will see that it's actually a little off center. It's not exactly center. It's slightly a little bit off to the side just because of the orientation of where I have the clamp, which I will tell you right now, this is one hell of a clamp, because this clamp does not move. Actually, sometimes it's hard to take off. Now, it also comes with this sequential plate. The sequential plate really is cool if you're rally racing or something of that nature, but I really don't use it because I truly just love the fact of having a completely gated shifter. Now, having this a metal construction that you see right here, most of this is metal. I would say at least 80% of this is metal. I mean, the only plastic is maybe some parts inside, and this whole bezel that you see right here is the only plastic that really is known to be on this, and the handle, of course, on the knob to tighten the clamp. Now, I've been using this for quite some time, and it has not worn out one bit. So, as I show you this, okay, you have first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh with a reverse. No, it's not 8 gears. I mean, if you somehow had another way to shift into reverse, it just wouldn't feel right if you made that an 8th gear, because where would your reverse be? So, it is truly amazing to use. Now, there's some really cool points, and this is why I wanted it on an up-close kind of personal basis rather than far away like I do some of my other reviews. So, as you see right here, there is a little hole that has actually a screw, flathead screw point in it. And what you would do is you can tighten that. Now, if you're going to tighten this, okay, make sure, and I mean make sure, that the screwdriver you're using is a flathead with a wide tip. It does not do Phillips. I kind of wish it did, but you want it to be a wide tipped flathead, because if you make it like a thin tipped flathead, then what you're going to have is it'll actually start stripping the screw in there. It's not the highest quality of screw, and I'm kind of a little disappointed at that, because if you strip that, well, it can make things tough. Now, when you tighten that, what is really cool, okay, is the fact that it will actually make it harder to get into the gears. Like, it will actually put resistance when you're going into the gears. So the odd thing is, it does not do any resistance from the side to side here. So I found that a little different, but in a real car, it is kind of like that. Maybe the gear is a little hard to get into, but this is always, you can flop it left and right. Now, like I said to you, that you can rotate this plate right here. So let's say you have it clamped, okay? You have it clamped this way, and you don't want it, you want it turned so that your up and downs will be, you know, like somewhere over here. You can actually turn this whole thing. It goes completely around to go in any orientation that you need. It's absolutely amazing in that sense. Now, like I said, I've been using this for quite some time, and I mean quite some time, and there is no signs of it going bad in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's not grinding or anything, sounding loose, nothing's rattling, and I mean, I have slammed this thing into gear, so like, you know, you can definitely slam it around into gear. And as you see, it kind of like, I'm on an awkward angle to be doing this, and I can shift without any problems. So it's really great. Now the other cool thing is you can actually order more plates, or if you're really good with metal fabrication, you can make your own plates to go right on top of this. Maybe take away some of this gate action going on and make it without, you know, where it would just be basically this going along on each side, like, you know, it wouldn't really have any gates, it'd just be like little lips. I personally love the whole gated idea. I think it's great, absolutely great, but you need to check into some of the other ones if you do get the shifter, because maybe you'll like something different. And like I said, it does come with that nifty sequential plate. And it's quite simple. It's just really a spring, a really tight spring that will take it. And let's show you more on this way. See, and just force it back into position. So they really give you a lot of options with this. Now, like I said, with that screw hole though, you want to find your desired tightness on how you want it to shift into gears. I mean, I can make it where literally I could throw it from gear to gear like with a flick of a finger. It kind of can do it now, but see, I could throw it, but you can make it even looser than that, or you can make it tighter where it's gonna be like But I will say, what I do find is it feels like it's more grinding against something. It doesn't feel natural, and there's not really a lot of room you have with tightening that screw. Like I was saying, it's really a short throw between, you know, very loose and very tight. So play around with it, see how you feel about it. There's not really much else to say other than the fact that this can really clamp onto quite a wide variety of things, because it really can open up quite a bit if you want it to. And it's got rubber on this side and on the top here, which will make it stick right onto where you're looking to get it and give you no problems whatsoever. It is a little big, but the way they actually shaped it, you can fit it into many spaces. So do I give this a thumbs up? Yeah, it's getting a thumbs up, because this is the best I've come across. I mean, I've looked at some others. There's a Fanatec one. The only issue I noticed with that is literally the box that this whole junction is in is absolutely huge. I mean, this is a full metal construction where so I can't really speculate on if the Fanatec one is a full metal construction. Now, this is about $150, and this was donated to me by an awesome viewer of mine, Poopy Blowout. I know, wonderful name. It's a name that he got from his nephew, if that gives you any ideas. So he donated me this so I can have a cooler shifting experience on Euro Truck Simulator 2 and all types of racing games. Mainly I do use it on Euro Truck Simulator 2 because I use my G27 shifter with some rubber bands and make it sequential and make that my high-low kind of gear shift, where this does all my gears for everything else, because it just feels more natural. It feels amazing. Anyone who's ever used a G27 shifter or a G25 shifter, but I'll go with the G27 since I have it. It's very loose, small, tiny. I mean, Real tiny. Now, something I was a little disappointed in, but, I mean, hey, what can you do? Is, see, this unscrews. And I'll show you that with this, is that you can take off this front part. Or, I mean, this handle, this knob. Boom. There it is. It's off. But what you can't do is put on your own. Unless somehow you found a way to fabricate it or something of that nature, because you can get those cheap shifters, you know, that are like $19.99, but they usually always fall apart and they're made with plastic parts and things like that. You can get that, and I'm sure it'll clamp on because they're more of a universal. But I have a Cobb shift knob in my car, and I said, hey, you know, it might be cool, you know, just take my Cobb shift knob, throw it on here. Well, it doesn't fit. The rod is too small. But other than that, everything on this is a completely sturdy construction. I have no complaints about it at all. So I think if you're going to get another shifter, I think this is the way to go. Like I said, you can get the Fanatec one, which is $200, so an extra $50. And it does have the same kind of controls as far as being able to tighten it and turn it into sequential and stuff like that. The only thing I'll say about that, like I was telling you, is the box that the bottom is in is huge. Like, this is about like the size of my hand. That one would come to about here. It's enormous. It's really, I don't know where the heck I'd even mount that thing. It is not as versatile as this is, where you can just sit there and clamp this in very tight spots. And like I said, with this clamping system that you've got here, you have a lot of room. I mean, look at all this room you've got to try to fit onto a block of wood or whatever you've got it on. So this is the way to go. You can also see Barnacle Nerdgasm has one of these, and he loves it. The only thing I suggest is the next step in your racing experience is, if you already have a 900-degree wheel, that means it can turn 900 degrees, get some pedals. But if you're going for a shifter, this is the one. Alright, so I want to wrap it up and tell you my final thoughts on this product. And my final thoughts are awesome. Like I said in a lot of this video, it's just awesome. I really don't have any cons. The only thing I even mentioned that maybe some people can find as a con, but I don't consider it a con at all, is the fact that I couldn't put my Cobb shift knob on here. But this shift knob does perfectly fine. It feels great in the hand, and it just really doesn't give me any issues whatsoever. I don't really need it weighted either, because it goes into gear nice and easy. So I really don't have to worry about that at all. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you about, which is another pro of this awesome shifter, okay, is this cord right here. Nice thick cable, which to me says longevity of the product. It means the cable won't have many issues with breakage. And if you have watched my Logitech C920 review, you will see I do not like thin cables, because I already broke one of those USB cables because it was so darn thin. Now, this is USB, so you could just plug it on into a USB 2.0 port, and it is plug and play. There is no software or anything like that that you need to plug in or put in to get this thing to work. It works absolutely awesome right from the get-go. So, now to finish up with the rest of this, and that is, if you like the video, please hit like. And if you dislike, maybe leave in the comments why you don't like it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would really enjoy you seeing more of my videos to come. And for all of you who want to see other YouTubers that I watch and maybe get a link to my Twitter, which I keep up to date on, or watch me on Twitch, you can go down in the description below where you can see some other stuff that I check out. Well, for all those who have enjoyed this video, and I hope you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, well, I'll see you next time.